So, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. What goodies did you get? Now, I have to confess I did get a few bits and pieces, but not a lot. Now, I know I made a video a few months ago, card up there and a link in the description, saying I was absolutely definitely not going to buy any more gear. But I did hedge my bets by saying for a while, and probably so. I hope you will forgive my little lapse. The problem with these offers is you have to distinguish between need and want, and in the want area, this is where we get our gas from. Now, as I said in the video, I don't need anything else, at least I don't think so. What I need to do is to learn how to use everything properly. But it's always exciting to get something new, and if you can use that in your music, well, so much the better. Now, I know in the title I said I was going to talk about 100 plugins, which I didn't get. There are actually far more than that, but don't worry, I'm not going to name every single one. There are about 10 companies which I am going to name who had bundles and offers on various plugins, and I'm going to tell you how I managed to persuade myself not to buy them. Now, this is not a reflection on the companies or the plugins at all. They are all very desirable, but I will explain why I managed to talk myself out of buying them. I thought that would be more interesting than telling you about the couple of things that I did actually buy. They're in no particular order. Well, they're actually in alphabetical order. That's just how I've arranged them. But they're not in order of desirability or price or anything at all like that. So let's dive into it. And the first one is from Baby Audio, who had an offer on Plugin Boutique for a bundle. And it was £119. And that was really a pretty good deal. Now, if you watch other music channels on YouTube, which I'm sure you probably do, you will have seen many people say how much they like Baby Audio plugins. I think they look terrific. Of course, a product needs to work well as well, but if a product looks good, I think you are more likely to use it. So there are a lot of plugins here I would have liked, but reverbs and EQs and I just talked myself out of it. I have these things. If I could learn to use them properly, I wouldn't need any more. I would like these in my collection, but as I say, I have plugins which do very similar things. Not exactly the same, of course, but I managed to talk myself out of this. This was a real toughie, I have to say. So the next one is Cable Guys, and one of the things which look really interesting is the Shavebox. Now, Plugin Boutique has this currently at £79. I think the full price is about £89 according to their website, so I don't think this is the Black Friday. I really can't remember, to be honest. But it performs all these modulations, and that's something which I'm really interested in. So I don't know if I regret not buying this or not. But I have dozens of plugins which perform all sorts of weird and wonderful modulations. So that's how I managed to talk myself out of this one. So this is something a little different, perhaps. It's a series of courses produced by Charles Cornell. He's an amazing jazz pianist. He has a YouTube channel and he analyzes pieces of music, and he just picks these things up by ear and plays along with them and talks about them. So well worth checking out if you like that sort of thing. So I thought I might pick up one or two of his courses, which seem quite interesting. Now he has 6 courses in total and a super offer of $99 for all 6 courses, which seems like a bargain. As I'm in the UK, he very helpfully adds 20% VAT to that, but still a bargain since most of these courses retail for around £100–150. However, the problem with buying bundles, and this is always the case, is that I really didn't want all the courses. I think I would be interested in 1 or 2 and mildly interested in maybe another 1. It's always nice to see what people have to say about these different aspects of music. So I was going to buy this, Charles. Yes, I was, just in case he's watching, which he probably won't be. But when you click through to the buy page, they only accept credit cards. Now, I'm sure this is perfectly safe in this enlightened day and age, but I cannot think of a site where I have bought services or software products from that does not take PayPal, and I am much happier and much more comfortable using PayPal. these companies are supposed to delete your card data and your personal data and so on after you've made a purchase, and I'm sure they probably do, but you know, occasionally these things get hacked. So maybe I've just been a little bit too suspicious, or perhaps I just really didn't want these courses enough to pay by credit card. In any event, I didn't buy them because they did not accept PayPal. Is that reasonable or not? Let me know what you think in the comments. So this one was very, very tempting. It's the Hainbach bundle. He's produced several software plugins along with audio thing, and they have put them in a bundle. There he is, dressed in his mad scientist outfit along with the software. I think this bundle was on sale for around $139, but Audio Thing were kind enough to offer a discount if you already own any of them. Now, I already had noises. I made a couple of videos about it. I shall stick a link to them in description if you want to check them out. It's very interesting, especially if you like field recordings, background sounds, ambient sounds and things like that. So I think I could have got this for around $112, something like that. So I was looking at these other plugins and I was checking out the videos and descriptions and so on, and really the only one I was half interested in was dials. Gong amp seems to be a bit of a novelty. I can't see me using that. Wires was interesting back in the day in the 1980s when I was making music with a 4-track tape recorder and had to bounce tracks between the different channels on the tape recorder. It was quite easy to introduce noise into the system, and some of the demos of wires that I heard reminded me of that. So if you want really bad tape recordings, wires is the thing to get, but that just really didn't appeal to me. It was more lo-fi than I care to go. Motors looks really interesting as well. It's sort of a morphine plug-in, and I like morphine. I like things which move, but quite honestly I didn't understand exactly what it was doing. So putting all this together didn't really make sense for me to buy the bundle. I could have got dials on its own for around €49, I think. But as I said in the noises video, I think noises and dials retail for about €79 as a rule. I think that's a little bit overpriced. I know this is a niche market, if you like, but 39 I think would be a more sensible price. 29 I may well have bought it, but 49 I just didn't think it was value. I didn't think it was worthwhile. Sorry, Hainbach. So if you are enjoying the video so far, perhaps I could ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, ringing the bell. Thank you, so you get informed of new videos as soon as I release them. And if you would like to click the big thumb, providing you are enjoying the video, of course, well, that really does help. Let's get back to it. Now, where were we? So this is another slightly off-the-wall one. It is visual synthesizer by Imaginando. I think it normally retails for around €89, and it was on offer for about 25 Great British pounds. So definitely a bargain, and it can produce some really interesting visual effects. It reacts to MIDI information and audio information, so it produces visuals to accompany your music. As I seem to be running out of the stock footage on Pexels and Pixabay, I thought something like this would be useful, as well as visually attractive and interesting to play with. Now, you can get a free trial of this, which I downloaded several months ago, and I tried to get into it, but it's basically a dark grey background with dark grey writing on top of it. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I have a degenerative eye condition, and I really couldn't make out the controls or the writing or anything at all like this, so it was just impossible for me to use, and I am quite saddened by that. But if something like this interests you, I think this is probably well worth checking out. So, as you probably know, Korg is converting its hardware instruments into software. It's following the Roland model. So I thought I would check them out because I really like Korg Gear. And they had a sale on up to 50% off. So I checked out the bundle, which I think it has about 14 instruments in it. So the bundle is normally €399, is that euros or dollars? And it is on offer for $299. And I don't even need a calculator to realise that that is not 50%. I think Arturia's V collection on offer on Black Friday, which I believe it was. I have not upgraded to that. I think that was a much better deal. Even looking at the individual prices of the individual instruments, should you want them, I think these are a little bit expensive, shall we say. So I'm probably not going to be inclined to delve into Korg's software world. I've always loved Korg Gear. The only bit of Korg hardware I've got is the Wave State. Now, a lot of companies give you a free editor and librarian with their hardware. Korg wants to charge you, I think it's 50 quid for it. If you don't have the Wave State, then you can get the whole thing for 150. Now, the Wave State, the Mod Wave and the Op 6, I think are very good value. The keyboards are pretty terrible, but the instruments themselves are superb. They're basically just software in a hardware case, but they are very hands-on and very nice and produce some fantastic sounds. But just looking at the prices of some of Korg's software instruments, I might have been tempted by one or two, but not at these prices. I don't think these were good value. And after the deal is gone on Black Friday, I just can't see myself buying any of these Korg pieces of software. But that's just me. That's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion. So along similar lines, we have Roland Cloud. I thought I would check this out. I am really not a fan of subscription models. It's actually a good business model for companies, but I don't think it's a very good business model for the consumer. So here we can get everything on Roland Cloud for $200, and we get to keep 2 instruments. That's sort of $100 per instrument, plus the borrowing of the other instruments, if you like. So you can get to try and play with all these lovely Roland instruments for a year. Whether you think that's worth $200 or not, that's your decision. That's up to you. But Roland seems to be moving more into software than hardware. I think it's probably a better business model, not just the subscription service, but selling software. And once the R&D has been done, you've got no manufacturing costs, you've got no storage costs, you've got virtually no distribution costs. You cut out the wholesaler, you cut out the retailer. It's all pure profit. So I think this is a good business model for Roland. But I sort of think they could sell these things a little bit cheaper and still make a ton of money. I am going to resist joining Roland Cloud for as long as I possibly can. So, Sandtoys, this is another one highly recommended by most people who have Sandtoys software. So I was really very interested in this bundle. I think it was around 149 or maybe 199 pounds or dollars. But again, I have similar products which do similar sort of things. So although this was a very desirable bundle, again, I managed to talk myself out of it because it was something which I really didn't need. I would like to try them, and I may well have used some of them in my music, but at the moment I really didn't need them. So we can't forget Spitfire and their 50% discount. They have a fantastic range of admittedly expensive sample libraries, and that comes from the mouth of Christian Henson, who co-founded the company. I have quite a few of Spitfire's sample libraries. They're quite old now because I haven't bought anything for a long time, but again, I really don't feel as if I need them. They keep producing some really interesting libraries, and it is very tempting, but they are quite expensive, and even at a discount I really couldn't bring myself to buy any of these. Now, if you were on the Spitfire mailing list, you may well have received an email offering an additional 20% off some products. Spitfire only rarely discounts so heavily, so this was really a good deal. But I remained steadfast and managed to avoid the temptation this time round. So the last on the list is Steinberg. You probably know they produce Cubase, but they also produce Dorico and Wavelab and various other bits of high-end audio software. However, they also have slimmed down versions if you want to try them, or if you don't need all the heavy professional features. They also produce a large range of music software. Now, these often seem to fall below the radar, and there's only a couple of people on YouTube I've seen mention them on a regular basis. So the biggie in the sale here was Absolute 5, which is a bundle of all their major software instruments. Now, for some reason, when you click on the offer, it doesn't go anywhere. They really want you to put this in your basket. Normally with things like this, you click on it and you get taken to the page so you can read a bit more about it and say exactly what's included. Instead, you have to go to the menu and find the products and find Absolute, and then you get to the page and you see what's included in the Absolute bundle. So I think this is about $214, pounds, euros, whatever. I think this is actually a really good deal. and I was really tempted by this, but I have Native Instruments Complete 14, I have the Arturia V collection, I have dozens of other synthesizers, dozens of other effects. So again, I talked myself out of this. It was something which I would really like. I think it was a good value bundle, but I didn't really need it. So here's a guy who's looking rather sad. Perhaps he couldn't even afford the Black Friday deal. Well, maybe next year. So that's a brief rundown of how I spent my Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend. So did you take advantage of any offers, or were you resolute as well? If you bought anything, if you got any bargains, if you got something which you really have wanted for a long time, then please let me know in the comments. Likewise, if you saw something and you managed to avoid it, tell me what you would really have wanted but didn't actually need. So if you've enjoyed this video, then perhaps you might enjoy these videos as well. So as always, I really do appreciate you spending time watching my videos. So for that, thank you very much indeed. I will see you again very soon in the next one. Fade to black.